Welcome back to it. It's the morning show right here on E, and you can interrupt with us. Don't forget in our WhatsApp line 072-411-6528, folks. Now, this morning we're thrilled to have Tshepido Mothobi, an award-winning gospel sensation and minister, a teacher from Klerksdorp as well, right here in South Africa. Now, his apostolic and prophetic ministry has taken him from school choirs to winning the best gospel song of the year back in 2017, and sharing stages with the greats like Tshepido Mothobi and Tshepido as well, even taking his ministry to the countries like Uganda.
Oh my goodness, sounds super amazing, but the excitement doesn't end there. So Tshepido's latest single, Lehodimo and Riaoboka, has earned him nominations at the Bokone Buphirima Gospel Music Awards and the Mpumalanga Gospel Music Awards. So here the man himself is here. We're about to find out more about his journey, be inspired, and kick off this Monday the right way. Tshepido, welcome to the morning show.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me.
No, man, we're so excited to have you. Look, I mean, like Bongani has mentioned, you're also a teacher in Klerksdorp, right? And I mean, schools have just reopened. How would you describe the atmosphere amongst teachers, students, and society now that schools are open?
I think, you know, it's very tough. But one thing about teachers, they are very people who just, you know, keep on going. They put on pressure. They make sure that whatever it takes, they just make it about kids, because what the constitution says that we should put learners at first. Everything that we do, learners should be at first. So it's not even about us, but it's about their futures that are at hand.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. And Tshepido, I mean, I can imagine you are tapping into two roles, right?
Yeah.
Where you have to be a performer and also stand in front of the class. How do you balance the two?
It's very simple, you know. I think it takes a lot of prayer. It takes a lot of diarizing everything. And I already know that during the week I need to prepare for kids, I need to do lesson plans. Then when I'm done, I know I'm preparing for my performances, which usually take place during the weekends. Yeah.
I like that. You know, like Rona Harahola Rudu Sakaure Muruti wa Ruta, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
And a lot of the time that is associated with Christianity or spirituality in a sense, right? And I think like you've just incorporated the two so well. Like you're an actual teacher, and here you are, you're a gospel musician as well. How have you integrated the two to then, you know, have that Muruti be personified?
Dignity. I've always said this, that I think I've always thought I'm called for being a teacher, but it simply also means that I'm also being called to teach the gospel of Jesus Christ through music. So it's one and the same thing, you know. I incorporate my teaching strategies into songwriting skills so that the message can come across to people.
Yeah. I mean, look, you've had most probably a wonderful first of season, right?
Yeah, I did.
And without the kids, I mean, the fridges were open, and now the fridges are closed, and you have to go back to them as well, right? And how are you anticipating that for yourself with regards to getting back into the groove of things and also getting into it with you know, the kids as well?
One thing I always make sure is planning. Do a lot of planning, because you can't go into class without planning. The same way you can go into stage without planning first, going to rehearsals. So planning. That's what it takes to make it out there.
Let's, you know, go back a couple of steps to your upbringing, right, and your musical journey. I mean, you started singing from the age of 6, right? Very young. And I mean, you've had your debut album, you've got like more music that you've just released. Tell us about that musical journey and the sort of spiritual journey you had to walk to then actually discover the kind of teaching that you will do then through your music.
I started singing at the age of 6. I think I wasn't even in grade. Encouraged by then, because so I had to go through that music-wise. When I started singing, started in my primary school, then I had to learn these music things when the time was going on, and went to my primary school, went to high school. That's when everything started to bloom. Now I've recorded my first demo. Those days we were recording demos before the singers. We recorded our first demo. I remember I was singing with my friends until I discovered that I can never do it with people anymore. This is my journey, it's my spiritual journey, and I needed to take a step into doing it alone. You know, because for me it was a calling more than just an ability or a hobby. hobby, because the people I was singing with, they were just taking music as a hobby. But for me, it was a calling. So I had to take a step to say, let me do it alone and see what God takes me. Until in my first, I think it was 2016, when I released my first single, Marato Oti.
Interesting when Tshepido, and I mean, a lot of composers that we know, that we learn about, like Mozart, Beethoven, they also start composing at the age of 3 or even 2 years old. They say compose at age 2, and you're like, but really, is that the thing? But also, now you've traveled, right, internationally. You've went to Uganda, and are there any, life lessons or anything that you've brought with to sort of, give to us or to your children as well in the classroom?
Absolutely. I remember when I went to Uganda, I've learned a lot, man. The way of living, respecting culture, respecting what you believe in and sticking to it. It's what I've really I've taken for myself, that I want to also, teach to people in South Africa.
You mentioned something very important about how you needed to pull away from the group that you were in because you realized that this was a journey that you needed to walk alone. And a lot of the time when people are called, when people need to then start ministering, when people then need to start being purposeful in their journeys, then comes that moment where you have to walk alone. And I can imagine that it's not an easy one, right? And you constantly need to be in conversation with God, right? Tell us about some of those conversations that you had with God.
It's not an easy journey, to be honest, because sometimes you feel like God is even quiet. You're going through stuff, you're not getting where you need to go, you're praying, you're stuck, you're doing shows, nobody pitches. You're like, God, where are you in this thing? But one thing that teaches us, God is pleased with people who are faithful. You need to be faithful to the journey, have so much faith. And the same way they say that the teacher is silent during the examination, that's how God operates. Sometimes it just becomes quiet, but you need to be faithful to the purpose. Keep on doing what you need to do until he answers.
Now, just to wrap it up, right? I just want to figure out, you've worked with stunning artists, such a name a few. And how has that influenced you and your artistry?
It really had me going. Every time when I meet these big people, they would tell you, it's not an easy journey. Keep pushing. We've been there. We've been where you are. Keep pushing. You'll get there. Stunning. So that's what it gets.
Fantastic.
For people that are probably experiencing you for the first time right here with us on the morning show, how can they get in touch with you? How can they get in touch with your music?
My music is available on all digital platforms. Everywhere. You go to my Instagram page, I'm Tshepido Mothobi. My Facebook page is Tshepido Mothobi. My Twitter account, Tshepido Mothobi. I'm everywhere.
Fantastic.
Awesome stuff. As you heard it from the man himself, Tshepido Mothobi, on all social media platforms. Get in touch with his music, jam to the inspiring sounds of Tshepido Mothobi. I mean, it's evident that his journey from school choirs to international stages has been nothing short of remarkable. We truly are blessed to have such a multi-talented individual with us today.
No, completely. And you know what, Bulele, Tshepido's dedication to his craft is actually quite stunning. You can see that, he has done quite amazing as a teacher and an award-winning gospel artist. It truly is commendable. So, hey, kudos to you as well. Now, the challenges and opportunities now you anticipate as well really show that you're stunning in all that you do as well. All right, now the morning show family, don't go anywhere. You must